Hi, Scruffy. How you doing? So I'm a little later than past few nights. Still pretty early. So I consider this about 15 minutes earlier than our normal time. So almost an hour. But I've been feeding Scruffy up to 40 minutes earlier than this, so I might be late according to Scruffy. So I have a new can of meaty pate with real chicken and tuna and kibble. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna put the food on the table. Get the gloves. So, yeah, weather's nice again. I think it's supposed to start heating up. I think gradually starting tomorrow. But let's see. I think in 2 days it's going to really ramp up. And unfortunately, it looks like the heat wave is going to be longer than I thought it was going to be. At least so far. And actually, I'll have to think about it. So one of the days I think the heat wave is going to go into is the day I need to go to my cousin's wedding. So that's going to be a long drive, and I hope the car can take it, take the heat. Speaking of which, yeah, my neighbor called, so I asked to borrow extra phone um, in case I get stranded. So yeah, I don't have a cell phone now, and I know my neighbor had an extra one at one point, so I asked if I could borrow it, and so I got a call today, and told me the phone first told me the phone didn't work, so she tried to turn it on, and then yeah, wouldn't turn on. She thinks the battery was dead, so she was going to ask one of her sons to look at it, and then I actually suggested it, so maybe I could just borrow the SIM card. Um, but anyway, then she called back a little bit, not long later, and she found out actually her daughter-in-law had actually taken the phone kind of discreetly because they wanted to get her a new one. I guess for her birthday, and so um, apparently, yeah, they handed it off to one of the carriers, and the carrier is going to replace it, but it's going to take a few weeks. So basically, I don't have a phone, or I'm not going to be able to get a phone, and yeah, I don't have a lot of time to try to find another one. Although I did look at Target. Oh, Scruffy just struck me. So he hasn't struck me in I think over a month. So actually starting to think he was safe. I was thinking, gee, maybe I don't need the glove anymore. He's been pretty good. Oh, okay. So it looked like he was apologizing there. Yeah. Okay. So he didn't strike me that hard, but still. Got to build up trust with Scruffy. So yeah, anyway, I was looking for a prepaid SIM card or something like that. So it used to be that you could buy a prepaid SIM card. They're hard to find, but you could find them, and they're usually a ripoff, but not a complete ripoff. The best deal was actually, I think it was Verizon. No, maybe it was T-Mobile. Verizon or T-Mobile, one of them. They had a special vacation plan, or that's what they called it, and it was for foreign vacationers. So the idea was they were trying to, yeah. So the foreign travelers obviously knew what the problem was. They had a phone, but their foreign SIM cards wouldn't work here, so they needed a temporary one when they come to the country. And so there was a really good deal where I think, yeah, you paid a flat thing. It's like, I want to say like 30, $35 or something like that for 3 weeks. And yeah, it was a pretty good deal. I mean, all things considered. And so I was hoping to get one of those, but then when the pandemic started, they discontinued the whole thing since nobody was traveling. And so you can't get that anymore from everything I can tell. So anyway, I was looking at Target, see if they had anything that I could use. It looks like there's one possibility. Mint, I think it's Mint Mobile. They have a 7-day trial kit for I think $2. So the idea is it works for 7 days. I don't know if there are any limits on it, but for my use, I don't care. It's just an emergency phone for one day, and or maybe 2 days, depending on how long my trip is. But I'm only planning one day. But if I have trouble, it could be two. But anyway, so yeah, it looks like yeah, you can only use it once. So I don't know how they track that. I don't know if it's by phone, by credit card, by name, address. Who knows? So fortunately, I can only do this once, but might be worth it. So um, thinking maybe I need to go to Target tomorrow, try to pick it up. I wasn't going to go tonight. I'm kind of tired from both my bicycle ride last night and my run the night before. So yeah, so now I'm thinking about, okay, what other things I need to get from Target when I'm there. So trying to get a shopping list together. I was looking at sriracha sauce again, and yeah, they still don't have any, at least at the store closest to me. I don't know why it's so hard for them to get sriracha sauce. So yeah, they said they're sold out, not in stock. So yeah, it's troubling. And I did look up cat food, and yeah, the cat food I've been getting, Scruffy, it's gone up a couple dollars. So the Scruffy's about ready. Yeah, okay, let's get your food. Okay, here comes your food. Yeah, so the other thing, let's see, oh, I haven't figured out about the Mint Mobile thing is if you actually need to have online service to activate it. So I'm thinking what I should do is, if I can, get away with it anyway, buy the thing, but don't actually install it until actually I'm desperately needing it. That way I don't actually have to activate it and use up the 7 days needlessly. So my hope is, yeah, I don't have any problems and I don't need the phone. So if I can install it in the middle of nowhere, that would be great. It doesn't really specify. I presume that, yeah, if they give you the SIM card, in theory, yeah, you should be able to activate it, assuming you can, reach a cell tower. But you never know about these things. So let's see. I saw Scruffy this morning out in the rocks, sunbathing. Didn't have the camera ready, so didn't get any recording of that. And then when I came out at lunch, I didn't see him. It's very much like yesterday. So I walked around, looked in the garden, didn't see him. It probably took a minute or two. Actually moved his scratcher closer in so it wasn't exposed by the sun. Went in, and then so I closed the screen door, and then as I was getting ready to close the glass door, then Scruffy appears. So he was waiting for me to leave again. This time, unlike yesterday, after he was done drinking the water, he didn't come up to the door and stare in. So he actually turned around, walked away. So he was definitely not interested in me today. That's okay. But yeah, speaking of which, last night when I came back from my bike ride, I could see Scruffy crossing the street a little bit further down. So yeah, he left the yard again. I don't know where he was heading. And so as I was gliding towards home, I called out saying, "Hey, Scruffy." He just reached the other side of the street, so he was still on the street. He was at the curb, but I figured I can call out since he wasn't in those streets, so a car probably won't hit him. And he actually turned and looked in my direction. So either he probably recognized my voice or he recognized his name. And then because I was still gliding on my bike, I lost sight of him fairly quickly. In retrospect, I think I should have actually stopped and shouldn't have said anything, and I should have watched him. I'm curious where he goes. Although my suspicion was he'd probably get up onto the sidewalk and then walk in somebody's yard, and I wouldn't be able to figure out where exactly he was going. Unless he just hangs out at that yard or house or whatever, but um, yeah, so anyway, yeah, I thought it was interesting that I saw Scruffy and kind of recognized something. So yeah, so last night, on my bike ride, I did decide to do the tough hill, exposed mountainside hill climb, and yeah, that was harder than the last time. So it wasn't as bad as the first two times, but it was harder than the third time. So this is the fourth time I've done it since my injury. So I think I was tired still from the run I did the previous night, so I didn't have as much energy, and I was feeling a little bit of soreness. Might be too strong of a word, but yeah, there was some fatigue or discomfort in my legs, and yeah, I was struggling to get at that thing, and I was breathing really hard. Although, yeah, it didn't feel like my heart was going to explode like before. So, and I left just early enough yesterday that I got back right as I lost the last bit of sun. So, but I'm thinking I may need to start leaving earlier, which makes me think I may need to start feeding Scruffy later. So I need to probably leave before dinner instead of after dinner. But I think I'm gonna get through this next heat wave first, and then I'll figure it out. And then let's see, on the day before, let's see. Oh, I saw usually where the porch cat is. I saw the porch cat was gone, and a completely different cat was snooping around. So I think I've seen this other cat before. It's white and gray. um, I see him float around the neighborhood. I haven't quite figured out where he likes to hang out mostly. Maybe he's like Boots, likes to move around. Actually, this might have been the cat Boots was fighting one time ago. I gotta probably review that footage. So anyway, yeah, the porch cat was gone, and so this cat was snooping around that porch cat's area, and we went up all the way to the door of that house, and maybe I'm wondering if that woman feeds the porch cat also feeds the other cat, or if the other cat just looks for scraps or something after the porch cat's done. I'm thinking I probably got there after the porch cat had been fed since I'm going kind of late. And then I saw the friendly cat hanging out in somebody's lawn. Looked like he was trying to sleep, so I didn't disturb him. Plus, yeah, I've been trying to get through my run before it turns dark, so I don't want to pet him that day. It take too much time. So anyway, yeah, today I'm kind of sore and tired, so I figured I'd stay in today, not do anything. Took a real rest day. I did pull-ups yesterday, so I don't think yeah, I'm probably too sore to do them today. Oh yeah, the freezer. So last night I checked the freezer a couple times. So at one point it actually got down to 5 degrees, which was good. I wanted to get to 0, but 5 is still an improvement from I think 10. It was having trouble getting under 10. So got to 5, and I was starting to get optimistic. Hey, maybe this is going to work. And then I think a couple hours later, I checked it again, and it was up to about 20 degrees. And I was kind of disheartened. This might not work. And then I think right before bed, checked it one more time, and it was down to 3 degrees. And so now I'm thinking, oh boy, this thing has a wide range. I'm not sure what to think now. So I think this morning when I got up, I think it was I think it was 3 degrees still. Now it's at 5. And then I think a few hours later I checked it again and it was up to 15. And then I checked it a few more hours later and it was down to, I think it was about 1 degree. And I actually just checked it before I came out here, and I think it's still about 1 degree. So, move the balls. So I don't know what to think. So on one hand, finally got down the temperature. So that's a temperature, zero, about 0. That's good. That's where I want it. And I'm concerned, fluctuates quite a bit, but it didn't. The alarm built into the freezer didn't go off as far as I know, so it never got all the way back up to whatever it thinks the danger temperature is. It did that the other day. So I'm kind of hoping maybe it is working and maybe it just tends to fluctuate. And maybe that's normal. I don't know. So I still don't have a lot of things in there, so there's not a lot of thermal mass to keep it cold when it stops stops pumping. But I guess I gotta keep an eye on it. Okay, folks. Scruffy's going the other way this time. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.